Hello everyone and welcome to new EIFS Tools from TapeTech. This webinar is presented and sponsored by TapeTech. My name is Tawin, AWCI's Education Program Manager. And before we start, a few housekeeping items. Attendees should be on mute throughout the whole presentation. Should you have any question at any time during today's broadcast, please submit it using the question box in your GoToWebinar dashboard. We'll have a short Q&A session at the end of the presentation. Handouts are available for download in the Handouts tab. At this time, I would like to send it over to Mike Ventura, Vice President and General Manager of AMES Tools, to kick off the presentation. Welcome, Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike Ventura with AMES Tools Corporation and TapeTech Tools, and welcome to today's webinar, where we're so excited for you to get a quick preview of TapeTech's new range of EIFS tools. Our new range of tools is the widest range that's in the industry today, and it includes everything from U-notch trowels to finishing trowels, a full range of hot knives, all the adapters and sleds that you might need, including portable hot wire, tabletop hot wire, and freestanding hot wire. It's got all the trowels you might need for scooping out of a bucket, applying to the wall, reaching any area that you might need on any surface throughout the job. A full range of polycarbonate trowels, ABS floats, ornamental tools, inside and outside corner edgers including 90 degree and 135 degree. We have feather edges in 4, 5, and 6 feet, aluminum and magnesium at 33% lighter. For rasps, we have the widest possible range. We have your regular 4, 6, and 8-inch rasp that use self-adhesive paper, as well as tungsten carbide rasps in 3 different styles. Your standard, a serrated edge, and an edging rasp, where the tungsten carbide rasps all the way to the top of the tool. We also have a 4-inch by 48-inch tungsten carbide rasp. Use it like a derby, smooth out the entire surface in big sweeps. If that's not enough for your sanding needs, TapeTech has the exclusive dual disc 8-inch sander. 2 8-inch discs spinning in opposite directions to give you stability on the wall and give you the fastest and dust-free possible way to sand and rasp your EIFS panels. You can connect this to any shop vac or to the TapeTech backpack vac. The vacuums come in both corded versions and cordless versions, as well as the dual disc sander, both corded and cordless, and a range of sanding discs from aluminum oxide to silicon carbide and tungsten carbide. These tools come in a great case for transport and protection, and it really tops off the full range of our EIFS tools. So let's take a closer look at our hot knives. TapeTech offers 4 basic hot knife models. We have a corded version, an 18-volt cordless version, a corded rotating head hot knife, the first of its kind in the world, and a cordless rotating head hot knife. All the TapeTech hot knives and hot wire are air-cooled, which means they can be used continuously, unlike many other hot knives that need to be on for 10 seconds and off for 45 seconds. That keeps you more efficient on the job. You get more work done faster. TapeTech has a full range of adapters, from cutting guides to grooving blade adapters to sleds. We even have a blind hole cutter in case you need to make a hole, a square or round cutout in the foam without going all the way through to the other side, as you would with a standard blade. All the TapeTech hot knives come in a durable case in various sizes of kits, from basic to jumbo kits. The portable job site hot wire also available in both corded and cordless versions. It sets up in under 2 minutes, folds up flat, and goes into your vehicle very easily. Safe to use on scaffolding. It has a safety strap on it. It can cut up to 12-inch foam. It can cut every shape of angle you could possibly imagine, from notches to bevels to angles and miters. the fastest and easiest way to cut foam on the job site. Let's talk a little bit more about our range of hot knives and the various adapters and accessories that go with them. As we mentioned before, we have 4 basic models of knife. We're going to start with your standard corded 500 degrees Celsius, 932 degree Fahrenheit hot knife. It is air-cooled, as we mentioned, for continuous use. It's a heavy-duty, robust contractor-grade hot knife. It has variable temperature, and it has a hook that you can easily hang this to keep the blade off the floor or off the ground. It's got a 12-foot rubber cord, extremely durable. What's on the tool right now is a cutting guide and an edge guide, same as on a circular saw or on a jigsaw. You can easily put this on the edge of your foam and make consistent cuts of any width up to 12 inches. You can also make bevel cuts very easily in either direction up to 45 degrees. So extremely versatile. There's a cordless companion to the basic knife. It's an 18-volt cordless hot knife. Again, air-cooled, continuous use. Can take up to an 8-inch blade. And TapeTech offers 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch blades for all our knives. Now, here's a feature you'll only see from TapeTech. We know that contractors have their own range of cordless tools, and it might be from Bosch or DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee. We still give you our battery system with our knives and with our cutters, with our dual disc sanders. But if you want to use your battery system, we've got the adapter for you. Simply take off the TapeTech battery, purchase the appropriate battery adapter for your brand, and you're off and running with your battery from your cordless system. Let's talk about our rotating head knives. The rotating head allows you to quickly and conveniently move the tool into one of 5 positions, whatever is most convenient and comfortable for you wherever you're working. Again, air-cooled, heats up to 932 degrees Fahrenheit, variable temperature, comfort grip. All the hot knives offer a safety switch. Safety meaning it cannot lock on. The tool only heats up while you're holding this trigger. Has a hook so you can hang the tool as well. It's a fantastic tool. It takes up to a 10-inch blade. Our top of the line hot knife is the 18-volt rotating head hot knife. Same battery system as our other tools. Can run off a 2 amp hour or 5 amp hour battery. And again, all the adapters that I just talked about to run your own cordless batteries can be used in this tool as well. Variable temperature, 932 degrees Fahrenheit. Has a fantastic sled system to support you in your grooving. So let's talk about grooving. We have the widest range of grooving sleds, grooving adapters, cutting guides, and of course, just your basic blade. The TapeTech system offers everything that you could ever need for cutting XPS and EPS foam. When it comes to making grooves in your foam for any reason, TapeTech has the widest range of solutions for the job site. Everything from flat stock nichrome blades, which you can use to bend to whatever shape and size that you need. Of course, we already talked about our grooving sleds, which can make grooves up to 6.5 inches wide and virtually any depth that you need. This is great for cutting out for pipes and conduit on the back side of foam. What about if you're cutting things out on the front side of the foam, some kind of an aesthetic groove? Well, TapeTech offers 34 different standard sizes and shapes of pre-bent grooving blades, from square to V-groove, beveled, and angled. And TapeTech has a unique system that makes it faster and easier and gives you a positive fit or posi fit when installing your grooving blades to ensure that they're in the right position to give you the exact dimension of the cut that you're trying to make. So why don't we take a look at that for one moment. This is your traditional grooving blade or pipe grooving blade. Just a piece of standard stock, has legs that come up. And when you work to put this into the tool, you're going to have to essentially try to hold the adapter, hold the blade, and hold a tape measure to try to get this at the right depth. That is just not convenient when you're on the job site. The TapeTech system has 2 legs, and this gives you a predetermined size and shape and dimension for exactly what you're trying to achieve. Also notice that we've designed this adapter so that the arms just swing up and out of the way. So instead of trying to feed your grooving blade through 2 little slots, you can now just attack it from the front. Put it in, push it down till the legs hit. And this blade is in the perfect position every time. You're going to need to put the mesh in there. And the best way to get the mesh to sit into the shape that you just grooved is to have a polypropylene insert and a base coat sled. And once again, TapeTech has the matching polypropylene pieces that match up with the 34 pre-bent cutting blades. You can buy these as sets. You can buy them as individual pieces. Either way, it gives you the absolute best finish and cleanest groove for your EIFS facade. When it comes to trowels, floats, and edgers, TapeTech's got you covered. Everything from U-notch trowels available in the 3 most popular sizes that give you the adhesive spread recommended by the manufacturers. A range of finishing trowels, all available in gold stainless steel, the best kind of stainless steel possible for all your finishing needs. We've even got polycarbonate trowels that are more than 50% lighter than a comparable trowel. You can see right through it. You can see the surface you're working, and a polycarbonate trowel will never leave a black mark on any white or light colored surface. For working all that EIFS material into the tightest spaces, we've got margin trowels, and we've got things like little 5.5-inch mini pointed trowels. You can get into the tightest possible spot. 13 different corner edgers, 5 inside, 5 outside, ranging from 1/2 inch up to 2.5 inch, and then 3 135-degree corner edgers. All feature a comfortable wood handle, TapeTech Gold logo, and our signature gold ferrule. You can always tell your tool from everybody else's on the job site. One of the most common tools out there for EIFS contractors are, of course, ABS floats. And TapeTech has 2 of the most popular designs out there. We've got 2 styles. We have our gold handle, which is a silky smooth finish to the float, and our black handle, which has a very, very slight texture, really helps you roll that corn as you're going through the surface, get you that perfect finish every time. We know that everyone's favorite part of EIFS is rasping. And for rasping, TapeTech has a couple of different versions of rasp. We have your standard rasp, the aluminum plate, 3 different sizes, 4-inch by 14-inch, 6-inch by 14-inch, and 8-inch by 14-inch. All 3 have a comfort soft handle, very comfortable to use all day, if in fact you're sanding your EIFS all day. And we do offer a range of 12 grit self-adhesive sheets to go with your 4, 6, and 8-inch rasps. We mentioned earlier, we offer tungsten carbide rasps. Tungsten carbide lasts more than 100 times longer than your traditional rasp and your self-adhesive paper. It's a fantastic solution for long-term EIFS rasping. 3 different styles. This is your standard style. Comes in 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch, all 14 inches long. We've got a serrated rasp. You can see it has a serrated edge on it. This edge is great for, you can use it to cut foam that's in place. and you can also use it to surface cut and knock down high points. Also functions as a normal rasp, also available in 4, 6, and 8-inch sizes. We call this the edging rasp. You can see that the tungsten carbide actually is on the bottom but wraps around to the top. And what this is great for is when you've got those foam panels going down to grade and you don't want to lie down in the dirt, or you don't have room to flip this rasp over and prevent that sawtooth appearance at the bottom of your foam panels, you can simply turn it over this way and hit the bottom edge of your foam panels with the top of the rasp and get that bottom edge nice and clean. Finally, there's a vacuum rasp. Comes in 6-inch by 14-inch. You see that it has a metal shroud, and this attaches to any shop vac and effectively pulls all the foam dust in through and into your vacuum and keeps that job site clean. We know that the codes are getting stricter and stricter about dust, particularly foam pellets being spread throughout the air. So whether it's this or our dual disc sander and our backpack vacuum, we've got the answers for you as far as dust-free EIFS rasping. This is the North American exclusive product for TapeTech. This is our 8-inch dual disc sander, and it is the most efficient and easiest way to sand or rasp your EIFS foam panels. Really is set up as 2 separate tools joined by a cable. And why do we do that? Well, we do it so that the part you actually hold in your hand only weighs 5 pounds. And it's easy to hold on the wall all day long if that's what you need to do. The other part of it actually hooks to the worker's belt. And we provide a heavy-duty leather belt that the worker wears. This hangs off the worker's waist, so they don't really notice the weight of the motor. The part in their hand is only 5 pounds, and this effectively sands dust-free as long as it's connected to either your shop vac or our backpack vac. It has an adjustable shroud. You can adjust based on the thickness or the grit of your sanding paper. And as mentioned earlier, we have a range of sanding discs in various types. We have from 12 grit to 24 grit tungsten carbide, and we have 16 grit all the way up to 80 grit in other types of sanding discs. It really is the fastest, most efficient way. Cuts down on wear for your workers and their shoulders. And again, it's exclusive to TapeTech. Now that we've learned more about the entire range of tools that TapeTech offers for EIFS contractors, why don't we go out back and check out how some of these things actually work. Hey, all right, we're back here in our shop here at AMES and TapeTech, and we're going to take a look at how the great TapeTech hot knives and hot wire make easy work of cutting foam or notching foam in the shop or on the job site. So let's get going. Let's just talk about using a basic knife with a standard blade just to make a straight cut that you've marked out on a piece of foam. Really simple. Blade's already there. We already talked about all the TapeTech tools are air-cooled. They can be used continuously. They have a safety switch that cannot be locked on. When the trigger is pulled, you can see that there's a light, so this tells you that the tool is heating up, and it will heat up to its full range within seconds. And then it's simply a matter of cutting through the foam like butter. Simple, quick, clean, no dust. It's just as easy to cut different shapes and patterns as it is to cut a straight line. Give it a second to heat up. It's easy to follow any curve. So it's easy to make cuts in foam using a hot knife and a blade. Cut any shape that you want. You're just cutting freehand. But what if you had an exact measurement that you needed to make and you needed to make it over and over again? Or what if you needed to cut your foam at an angle? Well, you can use the TapeTech cutting guide. That would give you a variety of angles from 0 to 45 degrees in either direction. And of course, you can adjust the width of your cut. So let's see how that works. Easy to ride right along the edge without marking any line. You've already set your guide up. Perfect angle every time. Oftentimes it's important to make a groove either in the back of the foam or the front of the foam. We already talked about our TapeTech grooving blades and our entire system. We're also going to focus here on our rotating head hot knife. Makes it super easy to get the knife into the most comfortable ergonomic position possible. We've got our grooving blade adapter on here, and we've got our PosiFit grooving blade. So let's see just how easy it is to go ahead and make a groove that we're going to fit the foam over a pipe. With both of our rotating head knives, the corded and the cordless, both include a fantastic grooving blade system as well as a sled system that comes with a professional level guide rail that interconnects up to 48 inches, which is conveniently the length of a typical bat. It's got a couple of spikes on the bottom, so after you mark your line, you can easily just drop this into the foam and use it as a guide system with your sled or your blade adapter. So let's take a look at how that works. Again, this is our rotating head knife, goes into 5 different positions, and this one is our cordless version. Again, the only company with a cordless rotating head air-cooled hot knife. Put your guide rail in here. Let's give the knife a second to go ahead and heat up. And easy to cut a groove using a straight edge that you can place anywhere on your foam. For those times when a pre-bent grooving blade just won't do it for you because maybe there's multiple pieces of conduit on the back of the wall, or there's just some kind of obstruction that you need to get around, you can always buy flat stock and bend it to whatever size you actually need, both the width and the depth. The TapeTech grooving sleds will accommodate up to a 6.5 inch wide groove. And again, simple to use. TapeTech's jobsite hot wire foam cutter is really one of the coolest tools of the entire range. Super portable, folds up in a couple of minutes, comes with a carry bag, can go in the back of a car or a truck, easily gets on the job site and sets up wherever you need it to be. It's probably the cleanest and quickest way to cut foam panels. It's got a hot wire cutting bow with a table, support arms that fold up and out of the way, rulers on the bottom so that you can make cuts over and over again without the need to pull out a tape measure. It can accommodate the panel both this way, and it can also cut the full length of your 4-foot panel easily. Just like our hot knives, this is an air-cooled unit, continuous use, and again has a safety switch that the wire is only hot when you're holding on to the switch. It cannot be locked on. So let's take a look at how easy it is. Burn off a little of the foam we've been playing with this morning and simply make your cut. If we want to cut the full length, not a problem. What if you needed to make a notch out of the end or in the middle of your piece of foam? That's easy to do with this unit. We have systems of stops here where you can set your depth, and then you just move your piece of foam through. We're going to go ahead and simulate that. We're going to take a notch out of the middle here, as if we needed to get around some conduit or a box that's on the wall. It's easy to cut miters as well. Simply loosen this. You can set it to your angle. Let's say we have to cut 45 degrees. You can set this side as well if we need to. Put that anywhere you want for virtually any angle. Drop in your foam. Give the wire just a couple of seconds to heat up to 932 degrees. And just like that. Quick, clean cut. No dust, no pellets. And finally, what if we needed to make a bevel cut rather than a miter cut? Well, that's easy. Just loosen the top and bottom nuts that are on your bow cutter. Go ahead and set your angle. There are miter angles here. Tighten those back down. Put the foam in. Just give it a second to heat up. And just like that, quick and easy. What about compound miters? Fully capable of a compound miter as well. Just go ahead. Set your angle here. Set your angle on the table itself. Go ahead and put your foam in. 932 degrees. Easily slices through. That's just a quick look at some of the new TapeTech hot knives and hot wire that makes cutting foam super fast and super easy on any job site or shop. We're just about out of time, but you know what? We are so grateful that you took the time to be here with us today. We're going to let you in on a little bit of a sneak preview of a patent pending product that we have coming out in the first quarter of 2025. And it is the first tool developed to accurately and quickly cut grooves into mineral wool. Let's take a look at that. Mineral wool is becoming more and more popular for use in EIFS. But one of the big challenges with mineral wool is that it's unable to be cut with a hot knife or hot wire because it just doesn't burn. So TapeTech was asked if we could come up with a solution of how to cut grooves into mineral wool so that it can be used in the same way that EPS and XPS foam is used for EIFS currently. And that's exactly what we did. We developed a simple sled with a patent pending blade system, utilizes that same PosiFit design that we use for our foam blades in a simple sled. Gives you an accurate groove. We have different shapes and different sizes of this. We're going to just show you how easy it can be to cut a clean groove in mineral wool. Prior to putting the mesh on, some people may want to compress those fibers that are bound to be out there. So we've developed a patent pending roller system that matches up with the shape of your grooving blade. To go ahead, you can simply roll back through your groove, compress the fibers, you're ready to do mesh and base coat, and finish your wall. It's a fantastic system. Look for it in Q1 of 2025, only from TapeTech. Thanks again for taking time today to check in with us and learn more about TapeTech's great new system of tools for EIFS. We are here to come up with more solutions for you. We'd love to hear your questions and feedback. So we're going to sign off right now and say thank you for tuning in, and we are ready for your questions.
Once again, thank you for joining us on the webinar. My name is Robbie Worrell. I'm coming to you, remotely from Toronto, Canada. We're actually doing a huge introduction of our new EIFS products here in Canada. So again, nationwide, we are ready. So want to take a few minutes here to pop across some of the questions that we've commonly heard in the field so far before we launch, and then hopefully you guys may have a couple more on your mind. But number one, are these tools available? Absolutely. They are available right now at a various different spots and places. All of our company-owned AMES stores will have these products. You can find them on websites, allwall.com, Shop AMES Tool, and Westech. And they're also available at many of the GMS supply yards and our standard TapeTech dealers. So these products are rapidly getting into the field, into the industry right now, from TapeTech. So they're available. Go out, hunt them down. But you can go to our website, find out exactly what you're looking for and the model of what you're looking for, and then go research where to buy. So absolutely available. One of the biggest things we found, I know Mike showed the hot wire cutter. It truly is an amazing product, and it's an awesome product. So one of the questions we said was, what about the wire? We talked about it getting to be 932 degrees. Yes, it does get very, very hot. Simply goes through the foam extremely easy. But what about accidentally touching that wire? How long does it take that wire to cool down? And normally, folks, it's about 8 to 10 seconds. So by the time you make your cut, take your foam panels off and your cutaway waste away from where you just cutted, that wire will be soft to the touch or cool to the touch. So again, no worry there about inadvertently touching the hot wire and getting burned. One of the other popular questions that we were asking was, it's cool that we've done the whole battery thing inside our hot knives, and people really love the fact that you can use your already existing battery platform from Bosch, DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee. But people ask the question about Hilti. Do we have an adapter for the Hilti batteries? Not yet. That is down the road a little bit, but we wanted to take the most popular brands that you find on our streets every day, and again with Bosch, DeWalt, Makita, and Milwaukee, and make those adapters available for that product. So one other question about another common question about the hot wire is, how about replacing the wire? How much life do you get out of the wire? Well, you get about 70 hours of work on a specific strand of wire. And is that wire sold independently as a spool to keep clipping and replacing? But no, the way that we sell that wire is in already pre-cut links, so it already fits the bow at the length it needs to be for any easy installation at the top and the bottom. There are a couple of screws that you just have to taper and adjust, light, loosen, and tighten, and then you'll be able to replace that wire quick and easy. So no problem there. One of the other ones is what's included in a hot knife kit. Like Mike said, we have a number of different kits that are offered. You can buy just a basic tool with a case and just a blade, and that's our most basic kit. Or you can do what Mike called the jumbo kit, or the Mac Daddy, or the OMG kit, which has everything with the oscillating head or rotating head, as Mike called it, all the sleds, all the cutting guides, the blades, everything in there. So, and there's kits in between there. So you buy the kit to fit your application, what you think you need. We have multiple kits available that you can buy to fit whatever you're doing. Some people will want to buy a kind of a starter kit and then keep adding to it. Some people are going to want to go all in from the get-go and buy the full Mac Daddy, as Mike called it. So, just want to let you know that everything's available in all different configurations. So you can buy your own tool and then make your own kit by buying individual parts and pieces, because all the parts and pieces do come available. The grooving blades, the sleds, they're all individual SKUs as well. So that's 4 or 5 of the top questions that we've gotten from the field. Are there any questions that we have now out there from our current crew there, Al?
Yeah, just a few here. Can I just use the 8-inch or 10-inch hot knife blade regardless of the thickness of the foam?
The quick answer is yes, you can. But here's the deal. Like with anything, if you've ever cut wood or anything like that, you want to have the optimal amount of blade inside that foam. So, if you've got 4-inch foam or 2-inch foam, yes, you can use an 8-inch blade, but you're only using 2 inches of that blade. So you're wasting the rest of that blade. It actually gets hot as it goes. So why would you do that? The blades are not very expensive. Buy the right blade to give you the optimal foam level of the thickness of the foam that you have for cutting the right foam with the blade. And the 10-inch is only available in the oscillating head as well. So the standard hot knives will use up to the 8-inch blade.
Next question, are you supposed to push the hot knife through the material, or are you supposed to pull it through?
Personal preference. Great question. Personal preference. You saw in the video that Mike actually pulled the knife through using the sled, and also when he was cutting the kind of the groove or the straight line. I like to do the same. Some people do like to push. The only difference that you have to do is be sure when you put the hot knife blade on, the actual tapered cutting edge is pointed in the direction that you want to cut. If you want to push it, you'll simply flip the blade and use the cutting edge away. If you want to pull it, flip the blade to its normal position and pull the blade towards you. So again, personal preference, whatever you're most comfortable with, but it'll cut in either direction.
You have a couple of tungsten carbide wraps or tools on earlier. Why are they so expensive?
Well, as Mike said, yeah, the carbide rasp lasts up to 100 times longer than a standard aluminum sheet that you simply take the aluminum sled and put a piece of PSA or pressure-sensitive adhesive paper to the bottom of that rasp, sled, if you will. So the tungsten carbide rasp will last 100 times longer. So you could essentially be using many sheets, many hand rasps, while you would wear out just one simple tungsten carbide rasp. So again, it's about longevity and the durability of that product.
And then I saw on your website that there's a turntable and a mesh dispenser. What are those about?
Yeah, a couple other products we didn't get a chance to go over here. We like to call those productivity tools. Again, on the website, it says job efficiency, I believe is what we've put on the website with it. But essentially what it does is it's two separate tools. One is a turntable. So imagine someone up on a 60-foot scaffold. They've got their foam board up there, and they're like, oh, man, I've got to do a little cutting. So now they're up on that scaffold. They're strapped in, but that foam is not. So now they've got to take that knife and do whatever, manipulate, hold, and do all these different things, 60, 80, 100 feet up in the air. Well, the turntable actually fastens to the scaffolding, and you put your foam down, and then you're able to use your hot knife while the foam essentially becomes a work table or workstation up in the air because it's pinned down onto that turntable. You can turn it 360 degrees. So if I need to cut an X or a little chunk out of a corner, I go in one way, rotate my turntable, and go in the other way, and I cut that block away. The mesh dispenser actually does the same exact thing. It actually allows you to take the mesh that you're using and cutting out the exact amount. So it can either sit on a table or it can also hook to your scaffolding, but it's got a tiny a calculated counter that goes out by inch. So if you need 2 feet of mesh to go up on one particular wall, you pull your mesh down. You see the clicker going up to 2 feet. You get to the 2 feet, you run your knife across that, and now you're able to pull up a perfect 2-foot piece of mesh so you don't have any waste. Normal waste time is about 20%, or usage is about 20% when you're doing things by hand. So imagine if you're paying $175 for a roll of mesh that's 150 feet long, and you lose 20% of it, or 30 feet, you just wasted about $70. Okay, so you figure that out. What it is. You eliminate the waste, becomes much more efficient. You also don't have all the waste sitting around the scaffold and things in that area as well. So 2 great new tools. Again, go to the website and check those out for us. But yeah, anything else for us, Tal?
That concludes the Q&A session, Robbie. Thank you. Do you have any last remarks there?
Yeah, guys, again, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us on our webinar. We're so pleased to be able to bring these to you through the AWCI group. And again, great new line of products that TapeTech is bringing out, comprehensive line. And that's the one thing you've got to remember, is that it's comprehensive. Everything you're going to need to cut, mold, figure, insert EIFS or whatever is available through TapeTech, and it's available today. go to our TapeTech.com website, find out the item, the model, whatever else you need, and then go shop, either online or in our stores or at the GMS supply houses or any other TapeTech dealer. You can always ask about them. If they don't have it in stock, they will certainly call us and get it, and we will ship it to them or potentially even ship it to you as well. So again, I thank you for your time today. It's been a great afternoon. We'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you, Mike and Robbie, for today's presentation. Thank you, AMES and TapeTech, for sponsoring. Thank you, everyone, for attending. We'll see you next time.